Hello, my name is Jenny Stewart, and I'm sitting here with Jessie Tenor, who comes to us from St. Louis. She is a graduate of Mizzou. Jessie has lived in Jonesboro for the past 2 years. She currently holds an anchor position here at KIT. And now let's get to know Jessie a little bit better and see what she has to say about crime in this area. Jessie, overall, what do you like about living in Jonesboro?
What I really like about it is I think the most is the community feel that you get from it. Moving here from St. Louis, I'd never even heard of Jonesboro before I came down here for my interview. And as soon as I came down here, I could tell right away that the people were just so great. Everybody was so welcoming. It really, even though it's 4 hours away from home, it really felt like a southern town.
Yeah.
It felt like everybody was kind of like watching out for each other. A lot of people knew each other or knew of each other. And it just seemed like a lot friendlier. You'll be walking down the street here and people will just say hi to you instead of looking away from you, and acting like that they don't even see you at all, like how they do in St. Louis and a lot of bigger cities. So just kind of when you're walking around, people are just friendly, always saying hi. I like the fact that it's kind of the same size too as my college town as well, Columbia, Missouri. It's about the same size, kind of same feel since we have Arkansas State here. And with having that, you kind of get the same vibe from the people too. You have like your college kids, you have your young families, you have older people. There's kind of a good mix to the city as well too.
Okay, awesome.
So, yeah, I love it.
Good, I'm glad. Okay, so obviously the life you lead in Jonesboro differs from the life you lead in St. Louis.
Yes.
Can you name a few advantages to life in a smaller community like Jonesboro versus a large urban area such as St. Louis?
Well, one of the reasons why I wanted to harp about the community in general is why I liked it is because I think that has a lot to do with the crime here. I think that the advantages to living in a smaller community is that with these friendly people all kind of knowing each other, people watch out for each other more, I think. And that's what it seems like here. It seems like if someone was looking in my car, if I was in a restaurant or something, someone would see it, and not only would they acknowledge it, but they would try to find me and tell me about it, I feel like.
Right.
I feel like people here are just way more, they just look out for each other more. And I think that's really neat. And also, another advantage too than living in a small community is I notice when I'm out here, I'm not constantly thinking of where's my purse, where's my phone, where's my money at. In St. Louis, I'm constantly like, I always make sure I have like a crossbody purse, and I always make sure that it's like in front of me and that I know, that it's on me at all times. Here, I really don't have to think about it. And it's not that I'm not thinking about it. It's just that because I'm still being cautious here, but it's
Right.
just, I feel like I'm not constantly thinking about, is someone going to take this? Is someone going to, try to rob me?
So you feel a little bit more safer.
I do feel safe here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you generally feel safe, I guess, in your day-to-day life here, or are there certain times where you feel unsafe? And if you do ever feel unsafe, like when and where do you think that might occur?
Yeah, I think, like I was saying too, overall, I think I really do feel safe here in my day-to-day life, but I think that one of the things that kind of puts me at odds is living alone. I've never lived alone before, and that kind of like really threw me off at first, not having like a roommate to fall back on if I heard a noise outside, or, I just, living by myself kind of freaks me out a little bit. Now I'm kind of more okay with it, but
more adjusted.
Yeah, more adjusted. But starting out, it was a little tough. It was something to get used to. And I feel like I've had some instances there where I got home from work late, because of course with these hours, you can work pretty crazy. So whenever I'm leaving my apartment for some reason to go for the morning show, I leave at about 2:30, 2:45, and I always have my little pepper spray in my hand because I'm always scared. I don't know why that I'm always scared at that point. I think it's just because it's dark outside. It's not a time when people are usually out and about. So it's like if someone is out and about, why are they out there?
Yes.
And that kind of freaks me out. But I haven't had anything like that. It's just I think I freak myself out, but I haven't had any problems around my apartment complex. But I think I'm kind of different because with this job, we're put into dangerous situations sometimes without even knowing it sometimes. Because a lot of times for stories, we'll have to just go knock on random doors. And when I think about it after, I don't think about it during it as much because I'm like, oh, this seems like a good neighborhood. Like, these people are nice. I'm knocking on people's doors. It's my job, whatever. But then when I think about it after, I'm like, I was in that person's house. Like, what if they were some creeper and something happened? That's kind of scary.
Yes.
So I am always thinking about that kind of stuff. Luckily, nothing has happened to me where I felt that scared, anything in particular where someone's come up behind me. Nobody's held me at gunpoint. Nobody's tried to rob me or anything like that. And so, but it's always kind of in the back of my mind,
right,
that can happen,
right,
and maybe that's why nothing has happened,
right. But you're being
'cause I'm thinking
cautious.
about it. Yeah,
You got your pepper spray. So
yeah,
that's
I got
good.
my pepper spray. It looks like a can of lipstick, so they won't even know.
All right. So, do you feel we are doing enough in regard to sending a positive message to the children here in the area? At present, there are informative in-school visits made by the police department personnel. Can you think of anything else that could be done, or any other way to foster awareness among the children?
I think those in-school visits are a really good idea, because a lot of times when I go out to stories and say it's a crime story and it maybe involves a police officer making an arrest or having to shoot someone, not fatally, but to deter them from doing something further. And when I go in those areas, a lot of the kids are like, my parents have told me to hate the cops. My parents have told me that they're the bad guys. And that's the wrong message to be sending kids. And I know that that's the parents' fault, but I think it does make a positive impact when those kind of kids that are being told that don't see police officers on the street just arresting people, but see them in their schools, talking to them, telling them, like, we're your friend, like, we are here to protect you, extending kind of a helping hand to them. And I think that kind of sheds a positive light on it, being able to kind of hang out with a police officer and see them doing fun things and hanging out with the kids, playing games with them, things like that. But I think something further, I know that some police officers out in this area do it with like the community centers around here and stuff. They'll have like kind of like neighborhood meetings and things like that. When I've been in Batesville, they said that they do that. Sometimes they hold kind of like neighborhood meetings or some sort of like community meetings where like people in a certain area can kind of come together and voice their concerns with the police department, or just with crime in general in that area. Even just kind of create like an open forum between the community and the police department, so you're not just communicating with them when you need help or when you're in trouble or when you're the one causing the trouble, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of a positive thing to do, is kind of really reach out and go to the community and be like, what do we need to do for you? Or like, why do you hate us?
Yes.
You know,
absolutely.
just ask that question.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Your KIT job keeps you informed on crime in the Regina area, and
Definitely.
I understand that you help out with the mug shots during the weekends. Can you tell us what this entails?
Sure. So I'm on the weekends, I'm in charge of posting all of the mug shots from Craighead County to our website to create a slideshow. And in doing that, it's just from Craighead County, but I mean, you see how many people that they deal with from all over Region 8, even from out of the state when they're coming through here. And on the weekends, kind of the trends that I can pick up on of the main crimes over the weekends are, of course, people are going out. So you got your DWIs, there's, theft and drug charges too. And so I really do see a lot of that, but I think mostly kind of the biggest crimes here are theft, and drug-related crimes.
Okay.
That's what I've seen.
Okay. Nothing too serious.
It's not like there's like 10 murders every weekend that we're just not telling the public. It's mostly just smaller things.
Okay. Well, do you have any other suggestions for the residents of this area as to what could be done to strengthen public awareness of crime and to promote crime prevention here in our
This is kind of general, but I think I'm going to go back to your first question about what I liked living in Jonesboro, and it goes back to the community. Of course, I said that people are doing a good job of watching out for each other, but whenever I talk to law enforcement about, like, how can we get this theft rate down? How can we get the crime rate down in this area or this area? They always say if more people are just aware and kind of not the nosy neighbor, but if they're just watchful of their neighbors and of their neighbors' possessions, that really would crack down on a lot of stuff. So I think the community can do so much by being the eyes and ears for a police department, a sheriff's department, and we just need to be more aware of other people's surroundings too.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you on that one. Okay, well, thank you so much, Jesse.
No problem. Thanks for having me.